Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Gems and Pearls with Love. I hope all of you precious and lovely ladies are doing well. As you probably already can tell, this is very different than my typical videos. This video is a podcast style video. I know that my members here on YouTube, they are used to that because I do podcast style videos when I'm doing the book review quite a bit. But if you are not a member, then yeah, this is definitely new to you. And honestly, life has been lifing lately, and I know that I would likely not be able to get this video out to you guys so probably about another week, if not more, if I didn't do it this way. So because this is a little bit easier, and I really want to get you guys part 6, I decided to just do it this way, and I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, so if you are new, welcome. My name is Caitlin Clarice, and currently I've been doing a series where I've been talking about ways wives may be disrespecting their husband. To kind of like sum up the first few videos, I talked about how we as wives talk to our husbands, and when it comes to the words we say, when it comes to our tone, volume, etc. And we also talked about the silent treatment. For this part, we are going to be talking about comparing our husband to other men. Before I dive into the video, every once in a while, I like to let you guys know that I have the option to become a member here on YouTube. Currently, right now, my members and I are going through the book, The Proper Care and Feeding of Husbands. We just started chapter 5 because they are quite long chapters. And yeah, so if you're interested into that, I also do a couple other little videos here and there. My members sometimes request for me to talk about something or answer a question, and I will go and talk to them about that, and we'll have discussions there. So if that is something you are interested into, you can either see a join button, or if you don't, there will be a link in the description to go ahead and find out more details. Okay, so now to the topic at hand, comparing your husband to other men. Wives and wives to be. It is extremely disrespectful and hurtful to point out when you feel that your man has fallen short in comparison to your ex, your father, your man's friend, or some random guy you see on social media. It is one thing for your man to have insecurities that he may need to work through, but it's a whole different ballgame when you are sowing seeds of doubt that brings about insecurities or even feed into ones he may already have. My love, when you are doing that, you are tearing your husband down, and we must see to never ever do this. One of the things that makes this so dangerous is the fact that even if your husband forgives you, chances are he won't forget, and it can impact your relationship long term. What I mean by that is like whenever you guys maybe are around another couple, let's say, or maybe you're even watching a movie together, in the back of your husband's mind, he may be thinking that you are comparing him to that man because after all, it's something that you have done. So here's a little scenario I kind of made up to give you guys an example. Your friend and her husband comes over, right? Comes over to your house for a dinner or whatever. She happens to mention that her husband took their daughter on a father-daughter date last Saturday. Your husband knows that he hasn't ever taken your daughter on a date. Although he has forgiven you for comparing him to the guy you saw on an Instagram reel a few months ago, he may now be thinking, oh boy, now she's going to think I'm a bad dad because I haven't taken our little baby girl Sarah on a father-daughter date. So right away, his shoulders deflate a bit, and he wishes he could just disappear. It's almost like he can feel your annoyance and disdain, even if it's not actually there. You may not even be thinking or feeling any of that. You may just like you heard what Sarah said. Not Sarah. Sarah was the daughter. What am I saying? I'm messing up the whole scenario. You may have heard what your friend said, and you're just like, okay, wow, that's so nice. And it may not even cross your mind about the fact that, oh, my husband hasn't taken our daughter on a father-daughter date. But because you just, as I said, like a month ago or a few weeks ago, you already were comparing him to some next man about something else, he's there thinking that that's what you're doing. I share that with you because I want you guys to see the lasting and damaging impact a few words from your mouth can have on your husband. This is kind of what I mean when I say that, like, it's one thing for your husband to have insecurities or things he needs to work through. Maybe he needs to build up more confidence about whatever it is. That's one situation, that's one scenario. And then it's a completely different thing when you are the one that's actually caused the insecurities that he maybe didn't even have because of the things that you're saying, because you are constantly looking and comparing him and saying, oh, my father would have done this better. Oh, wow, look at this person on Instagram doing this. How come you never do this? And constantly comparing him, you are going to cause him to feel insecure, which is the opposite of what we should be doing as wives, because as wives, we should be building our husbands up. So the thing is, I gotta be real with you ladies. Even if you've done it already and you've like, you said, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have even compared you to that guy on Instagram or whatever the case is. And your husband says, it's okay, whatever, like I forgive you for that. Even if that has happened, there is still a chance that, especially something similar were to happen again, or you guys were to sit down and watch a movie and a similar scenario comes up again, or you're around a couple, like in my example, in this scenario that I made up, there's a chance your husband is already going to start thinking that even if you don't say it in your mind, you are like judging him and you are comparing him to that other man. Now, if you've done this, please do not think that all hope is lost. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say here. I would suggest, though, that you definitely need to go and give a very genuine and detailed apology. You truly need to repent about doing this. And you need to explain your newfound revelation about how foolish what you did was and how amazing you think that he is. You can maybe go as far as even listing all that you love about your husband. It may still take time for that healing, that wound, because that's what you did. You wounded him. When you did that, you literally wounded him. So it may take time for that wound to heal. It may take time for him to stop thinking you're judging him or whatever the case is. It might not be just instant. However, now it's your job now to make sure that you are building him up, that you are encouraging, that you are saying and very intentional about saying positive things because of that wound that you caused. I think telling your husband how much he falls short, or even saying to somebody else how much your husband falls short in comparison to another man, no matter what it is about, it is hurtful. It is damaging, really, to your husband and to your relationship. But even more so if you are attacking him on things that like men take pride in, things that are masculine attributes, like his lack of maybe providing as much as somebody else, right? That's something that men take very seriously as providers. They want to feel that they providing enough. So, you saying, oh, wow, look at how much your husband was able to get them a 6-bedroom house. And you're still here in this 4-bedroom house or this 3-bedroom condo or whatever the case is, that is going to hurt him to the core, my love. And I refuse to believe this is what you truly want to do. As women, we can be so naive and not realize the fact that just because something that maybe would have been said to us wouldn't have such an impact on us, don't be naive to think that that means that it wouldn't have such an impact on him as a man. But really, to be honest, comparison in general is a thief of joy. Your husband maybe didn't take your daughter on a date, but maybe he recently helped her with her homework or he taught her how to ride her bike. He maybe spends time with your daughter or your sons, whatever, and doing things that that husband that you or he thought that you're comparing to absolutely doesn't do. Maybe your husband doesn't give you flowers as much as you like the way that Amy's husband does. But your husband is gentle and kind to you, unlike Amy's husband, who uses the flowers to massage his guilt for hurling insults at her the other night. My point is, my love, you don't know the full story of people's lives. Whether they're your real everyday friends, they're a relative, or just people on social media where you're just seeing little clips of edited clips of their life, you don't know their life, especially social media. Especially social media. And I'm not coming to you about this in a way of judgment. I'm going to be very transparent with you and say that I have literally seen certain things on social media before and had a thought come to my mind that, how come my husband doesn't do that? Or, wow, would it be nice if my husband did that? I have had those thoughts, but those thoughts are from the evil one, my love. Because you know what? Just because I'm seeing a video where somebody, like, we have to realize that these things we see on social media, somebody took other phone or camera of some sort and put it on a tripod, then pressed record and walked over and made up a scene. Like, these things that we're seeing is fabricated. It's not real. And I don't have any problem with content, right? Sometimes we record things and we want to have content for our social media pages. I'm not against that. However, although I mean it can get a little out of hand sometimes, but that's a discussion for another day. Um, I'm not against that, but we need to realize that a lot of what we're seeing is not real. Like, we may see somebody speaking so nicely and doing this and this for their spouse, they're recording themselves doing whatever for their spouse, and then as soon as they turn off that camera, they could be a whole different person. Maybe that's not the case. Because one thing I don't also really like is the haters who always assume that, oh, this is fake, this is fake. Sometimes no, sometimes people are really just that happy, right? I'm not saying that it is fake, but it can be. And what I know for sure is it's not the whole picture. It's not the whole picture, right? So the whole thing about it is that it's so dangerous, whether it is social media or in person, even if it's somebody that you know personally, they come over your house, they maybe look so in love, they're so affectionate. You don't know what happened in the car or what's going to happen in the car on the ride home, right? So stop comparing your husband, my love, and be grateful for the fact that there are things that I'm sure there are things that you can think of that he is good at, things that you fell in love with him for. My love, choose to focus on and celebrate the strengths in your husband instead of comparing his weaknesses against someone else's strength. I want to say that one again. Choose to focus on and celebrate the strength in your husband instead of comparing your husband's weaknesses against someone else's strength. So, to really wrap up this video, if this is something that you are doing, you are comparing your husband to other men, even if you are joking about it or making it to be a joke when really is it really fully a joke. I really suggest you make it right. Make it right. Like, even if you have to make a big deal out of the apology, out of the, like, okay, like a light bulb went off and I realized I'm crazy. Like, I have an amazing husband. What am I doing? Like, it's, as I said, it still might take some time, especially if you've been doing it for a long time and a lot, right? It still may take time for healing to take place, but please do not go on continuing to compare your husband to another man. Alrighty, that is all I have for you lovely ladies for this video. In part 7, we're going to be talking about the one very unfortunately hated topic, which is submission. We're going to be talking about refusing to submit. That is going to be the next topic, so be sure to stay tuned for that one. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If you want to share it on social media and you want to tag me, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, leave your thoughts and your comments below. Have you ever compared your man, and have you seen the damage that's done? Have you seen the way he's deflated after that has happened? Have you been around other people comparing their men? Do you disagree? Do you believe that there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing this, and that you think that that's going to make him want to do better by letting him know how short he falls to these other men? Whatever the thoughts are, let me know below. Until next time, sparkle like the gems of wisdom that you've got. Bye-bye.